Hey everybody, happy Thursday. I hope your week is going well and we are ready for the weekend. I can't believe we're coming up to Thanksgiving before we know it. It just seems like it was November 1st. So getting ready for the holidays is fast approaching and we're doing it. We're getting through the rest of the year. Um, Today I'm going to finish off my conversation about abandonment. Yesterday I started talking about how our past as kids with abandonment starts to get that ball rolling, the things that we experience and what it looks like. So today I'm going to talk about how it gets to a point of affecting us as adults, especially in our romantic relationships. Um, it's not easy. Some people realize that they're dealing with some kind of issue, but don't really understand what the issue is. So if you felt like yesterday's video resonated with you, then hopefully today will make things make a little bit more sense as well. So yesterday I talked about how in our younger years as kids, when we find somebody that completely understands us, they've walked a lifetime in our shoes, it can be like finding a needle in a haystack. And we feel like, great, cool, we finally found our people who get us, understand us, and we don't have to try to make that part of our lives make sense because they get it already. So we're going to take that same concept and we're going to apply it directly to romantic relationships. So we come across somebody at some point in life, especially when we're younger, maybe late teens, and excuse me, we find that they've been through a lot of the similar stuff as us, or maybe exact same stuff as us. Maybe they dealt with abuse of some kind, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, sexual abuse, or abandonment. Parents weren't there, didn't do what they needed to do. And so we immediately bond with that person, and we are bonding over trauma from the past, hence the name trauma bond. So when that happens, it's usually a very quick, intense, explosive relationship. And what I mean by that is that we don't even really hardly know that much about somebody. We probably know more about their trauma and their past than we really entirely do about them currently. And so we tell each other we want better, we want to do better, have better, especially if we're wanting kids, we're wanting to build that relationship. And so in that moment, we want our relationship to be unlike anything we've ever had in the past. And we want, in a perfect world, that trauma cycle to stop with us. And so we start telling each other all the great and wonderful things that we want to have, that we want to do, either maybe kids we already have together or kids that we hope to have at some point in the future. And that's great in theory, but we tend to, in those types of relationships, accept each other as is. So that sounds like a great thing. Shouldn't be cherry picking people. I like this, that, and the third about you, but the rest of this stuff you need to ditch off because I don't like it. That's not what I mean by accepting each other as is. What I do mean is that we, instead of building each other up the way that we started out the relationship saying that we were going to do, we accept each other as is, exactly as what it sounds like. When we start not being able to communicate because communication doesn't come naturally to people who have not experienced that, we're not able to trust the way that we need to, we're not able to love the way that we need to. Instead of trying to build that up in each other, we just kind of make excuses for each other. Well, my significant other, because of their past, doesn't know how to open up, doesn't know how to trust, doesn't know how to talk to me about what's going on. So it drives that wedge in our relationship. And so the things at one point that brought us together are now going to be the things that tear us apart. Sometimes that looks like in communication that one person is really openly fearful about the other person leaving. So if there is an argument or a fight, we want to talk about it right now. We need to hash it out, deal with it, move on from it so that everything can be okay. The other person in the relationship may be the one that needs to take some space. They need to recollect their thoughts, their emotions, think about what it is that happened before they sit down and have that conversation. So it ends up being very much a push and pull in that relationship. And so it makes it really hard to be able to sit down and communicate with each other and work out the problems that maybe another couple would be able to sit down and work out together. in a way that they need to. The other thing that you start to see in abandonment issues, especially in the dating part of life, is guys and girls can be different. So don't come for me, because I'm not saying that I haven't seen it go both ways. I absolutely have. But a lot of times, guys with abandonment issues, they don't want to get into serious relationships. They might be the ones that want the perks of the relationship without having to have the responsibility and the commitment to the relationship. So sometimes in this area, you find that man may or may not be talking to multiple women. And the reason for that is mainly because they want to have options. Instead of being alone but not committed, the middle ground for that situation might look like having a bunch of girls that they're speaking to, because in that beginning talking stages, it's fun. Those girls are telling you everything about you, how cute you are, sweet you are, how are you single, all the things that make us feel good. It's an ego boost. We like it. So if you are not going to work out in that relationship, then I've got other people that I'm talking to. So I'm filling that void without really filling that void. Women, on the other hand, tend to be natural nurturers. We want to take care of our men. We want to take care of our kids. And so the best way for us to do that is to be very selfless. And women have a tendency sometimes to get into the relationships where they're overly clingy. They're overly attached. They're overly, let me build and mold and shape myself into being what you want, so that hopefully you will not leave. The problem is that sometimes we find ourselves in abusive relationships. We find ourselves with men who are not going to love us the way that we want, we need, or we deserve. And all of which, from both sides, the man and the woman, is that we are looking for love outside of ourselves. We're trying to fill voids that can't be filled if it's not within us, first and foremost. And so if you are already in a committed relationship and you've been in this relationship for a while, and you're noticing some codependency, abandonment type of issues in your relationship or within yourself, maybe that's the time that you need to just take a step back, learn who you are outside of the trauma that happened to you at some point in life. If you don't heal from those traumas, you're not going to be able to be in a healthy, committed relationship with anybody, period. Doesn't matter who it is. We can't find happiness in other people if, like I said, it doesn't exist within ourselves first and foremost. So your family members, your loved ones, they can help you through it. They can be a support to you, but they can't do it for you. If you are single, if you are dating, maybe talking to some people, and you're recognizing these issues within yourself, maybe stay single for a little while. Figure out, same thing, who you are outside of the trauma. Heal from the past. A lot of times when we just sit and we date around and we allow one relationship to end, especially if they don't end well, then all we're doing is racking up people. We're racking up hurt that now we have to continue to work through all of these other hurts on top of the original hurt that we experienced when we were younger. And it's very difficult on everybody involved. And it's not how we want to go about things. It usually reinforces to people that we can't trust others, we can't open up to others. That just maybe exists for some people, but it doesn't exist for us. And that is absolutely not true. But it really does come back down to being able to heal from the things, heal from our traumas, being able to be emotionally available for the people that we choose to be with in the future. And how each person deals with abandonment and codependency and trauma bonding is not cookie cutter. So what works for one may not work for another. That's where it's really important to reach out, ask for help, talk to a therapist, talk to somebody that you trust about being able to move on from those things that have hurt you in the past. If this video helped you, please share it. Please comment any way that I can help. I would gladly be able to do that. But other than that, I think that pretty much wraps it up on abandonment. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you stay safe and have a great rest of your week. Thanks, guys. Bye.